In the last movie, we were able to add the @FontFace declaration and see this page being rendered in Internet Explorer 7 using Adobe Browser Lab. Now, if you're on the Windows side, you do have an advantage if you have Internet Explorer 9, and that is you can ask Internet Explorer 9 to render your content using the Internet Explorer 7 or Internet Explorer 8 engine. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at that. If we preview this in Internet Explorer, so I'll go ahead and do that now. After doing that, you'll notice that I have the developer tools open. If you don't have the developer tools open inside of Internet Explorer, in the top right-hand corner there's a little sprocket and you can choose developer tools. Inside the developer tools, there's a browser mode, and right now it's set to IE9. If we switch this to IE8, it will re-render, and you'll notice IE8 does have a slight bug, and that is that this content is getting indented a little bit. Believe it or not, that's a pretty simple fix. Let's just come back to Dreamweaver for a moment. And inside of Dreamweaver, what we want to do is update the menu div element. So if we take a look at the top section where we have menu, we just want to come over to the contact list item. And inside this list item, we just want to add the class. So go ahead and add the class attribute of NMR, which is no margin right. And believe it or not, that won't really have an impact on any other browser. If you want to test this again, let's say in Chrome, you'll see that it still is rendering the same way. But if we come back to Internet Explorer and we refresh this, you'll notice that that solves that small problem. And so that's the only thing that's really going on here in Internet Explorer 8, aside from the problems that we were seeing earlier in Internet Explorer 9. So what we really need to focus on here is what's happening in Internet Explorer 7. So if we go ahead and render this, you'll notice that the social icons are not lining up properly. You'll also notice that the top bar here is a little bit taller. The P for monoplate should essentially touch the bottom section of this bar. And then we have portions of our buttons here for hello being cut off, and the same thing for our custom buttons. So these are all the issues that need to be addressed. And we're going to start off by looking at the social icons. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to come over to Dreamweaver or whatever HTML editor you're using. And I want you to open up a file. Go to the File menu and choose Open. And from there, you can go into the Includes directory. And in the Includes directory, you can go into the CSS directory, and you'll find that there's style.ie7. Now, it's no coincidence that we have a comment here that's referencing this style sheet file if, in fact, Internet Explorer 7 is rendering the content. So by being able to add this content to this style sheet specifically, we're only affecting Internet Explorer 7. And so what we need to do is we need to deal with the problem of the social icons not appearing correctly. Remember, the Facebook icon was coming all the way over to the left. And the reason for that is the right paragraph element doesn't have a set width. So what Internet Explorer 7 is doing is it is extending it from the right edge of the paragraph onto the left side of the div container element. So what we want to do is fix that, and we can fix that pretty easily by just specifying a width. So I'm going to go ahead and reference the top ID. Then we're going to type in p.fr, and what we want to do is just set a width value. This would also correct the problem that we were seeing in Firefox 2, by the way. So we'll go ahead and save this. Let's come back to Internet Explorer, and we're going to refresh it. And when we refresh it, you'll notice that the Facebook icon is now placed correctly. The other thing that we want to address right now is the size of this bar. So let's come back to Dreamweaver. And what we want to do is write another selector that's going to limit the overall height of the P element. And so that's fairly straightforward as well. We want to type in logo. Then from there, it's going to be h3.include, or an abbreviation of that. That's the name of the class. And here what we want to do is set the height of that element to 51 pixels. Go ahead and save this style sheet. Come back to Internet Explorer and refresh, and you'll notice that that bar now is sized properly. Again, you may want to come back into Dreamweaver and take a look at your HTML document inside of Chrome to make sure that everything is working properly still, and it is. And you could do this for all the other browsers. But remember, we're writing in a style sheet file that's specific to Internet Explorer. So what we want to deal with next is the fact that this category element here, or this P element that has the category class applied to it, is being cut. So that's what we're going to fix in the next movie, as well as these custom buttons.